as you take a big swig, right? Or at least that was the delay that I was seeing. And we're waiting on Shane. Shane's coming in just a minute here. But welcome, everybody, to Whiskey Thursday. We'll give you just a second to get in the... There's Shane. There we go.
I'm having a hard time with my camera.
I guess so, man.
Doors are open. And, what is up, Zach? Good to see you.
You see me every day.
No, I don't. When was the last time you and I talked? I don't see you every day. We spoke a little bit earlier today. That's been, I think it's been a little while.
Well, you saw me Monday, and then
I did. Oh, yeah. Monday mornings, I always see you.
And then Tuesday, we had another conversation, and then we just had an hour-long conversation prior to this.
Fine.
That's more than I talk to basically everyone in my life. So.
Fine. Okay, I gotta fix this sound thing, man, because I can't hear you guys. So, there you go.
How am I, Matt? Can you hear me?
I think it's been a little while.
Saw me Monday.
I did. Oh, yeah, Monday mornings, I always see you. There you go. All right, and here, everybody. Awesome. Let's get started, guys, because I know Zach's got to take off. Matt's got a whole big, long list of things that we're going to talk about tonight, which is awesome. So go ahead, Matt.
I am working on the chat bot right now, making sure everybody gets the notifications. Give me just a second here.
Forget about your chat bot. So it looks like we, Zach, we have, well, I don't know if we have, but it looks like you're drinking whiskey tonight, which is not something that is typically normal.
It's pretty fucking gross.
So how did this happen? You just like picked it up because there's nothing else, or?
I've been living in the South for so long that I got tired of being called a queer for not drinking whiskey. So
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I'm not being homophobic. I love the gays. I'm just and I know plenty of gays like whiskey way more than I do. So I didn't understand the connection that the Southern folks were making. But they're
making one. So
yeah, I figured if I have to, fit in, then this was the only way to do it.
What is it, Bullet? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like Bullet. Okay. Nice. Awesome.
It's like a $30 bottle. It's like
Bullet's pretty good.
Mediocre at best.
Not all of us have that expensive taste.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my God, this chatbot thing's spamming the hell out of me now.
I sent it to send like 7 messages within 20 seconds, so we'll see.
Thanks, Matt. You're so awesome. All right, so we were actually talking a little bit earlier, just before this, and Matt's like, "Hey, Zach, come on Whiskey Thursday, because this is what we should be talking about, this kind of stuff." I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about side hustles and Zach's term, flexing your nuts. So, but before we do that, if you guys are watching live, hashtag live in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments below. And let us know, do you currently have a side hustle, or is marketing for real estate your side hustle currently? What's going on there? But yeah, I mean, for a lot of the people that don't know, one of our side hustles is definitely affiliate marketing. And
so we're not a side hustle.
Well, yeah, it's not really a side hustle. It's a pretty significant source.
Yeah, I would say more that the side hustles here are, well, maybe I can't speak for Zach here, but you've got your farming thing. So for those of you that don't know, Zach's a farmer on the side. In fact, you picked up a new guest from one of your farming ventures, right? So you got a new what is that? Let's see your dog. Your new dog, is he still there?
Harper. She doesn't know her name yet. Harper, you're on TV. Make a good appearance.
There you go, new dog. So, and then Matt's side hustle. Now you're gonna be racing go-karts here pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that a side hustle, but
that's called a hobby, Shane.
That's a hobby. Some of us do things outside of the internet.
Of work and stuff.
Yeah, because like yesterday, it's not between work, it's instead of work. Because Matt, yesterday when I called you, it was 2:00 in the afternoon. You're picking up a trailer for your go-kart. It's replacing work. So
yeah, I was at the beach at 2:00 this
I was gonna say it's because Zach and I spent all morning talking strategies for scaling and all this stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm just.
Shane, are you a fan of Shane? Are you a fan of scaling horizontally or vertically?
Good question.
Scaling horizontally or vertically?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know the difference.
Hey, this is where my life on the affiliate side of things is coming. My ads experience is being taken to a level that could never even be comprehended by like local business lead gen now. It's so insane. It's like,
okay, well, explain. You can't just ask me that question and then not explain.
So it's like, it's like taking a winning ad or a winning ad set or a winning campaign and scaling it up, meaning, just putting more money into it. Or is it taking horizontally, meaning starting new campaigns, new ad sets, new copy, new images, and just getting a robust horizontal thing that's all spending, like right now with the affiliate stuff, we're spending like $5,000 a day. So would you spend that $5,000 a day on the one winning campaign, which is like honestly what I thought made the most sense for a long time. But then when you sit down and think about it, you're like, no, that's kind of fucking stupid, because if that breaks, like we've all experienced, then you're fucked. So rather than doing that, get 5 things where you're spending $1,000 a day and they're all getting comparable results. So that would be scaling horizontally.
Okay.
Matt and I are going to have a conversation about this tomorrow, but
yeah,
at least that's my very, very amateur understanding of it.
But you bring something interesting up there. Is like it's a completely new and more in-depth knowledge of the ads manager, of running ads and so on when you're running stuff like this, because some of this stuff you've got 20-30 cent margins. Like you don't have a lot of room for error, and so
yeah, yesterday we made 65% return on investment. Today we're going to make like 35% return on investment, and the ads changed ever so slightly. Yeah.
And so, I mean, like that sort of thing, like you have to be on it to be ready to make adjustments, and you got to be watching it. You got to have alarms set up. Like it's just so different than the local business lead gen, because you're like, yeah, you're going to get leads for, $3 a lead or $5 or $10 a lead. And people are
but
like,
it's
okay.
Fun because it's your skin in the game. And I was telling Jen on the way home from the beach today, I was like, it's really just fucking gambling. It's like educated gambling.
Gambling.
It's almost like counting cards, but not quite as good as counting cards, but not as bad as playing the slot machines,
It definitely feels like that sometimes. I think there's definitely more of a skill aspect that goes into it. Because you look at these people who've been in it for years, and you're like, how have you stuck this out when, Google changed, when Facebook changes, when all these different places change, and you've got to learn how to run the ads differently. Like you got to pivot fast, because you can go from making $3,000-$4,000 a day to nothing.
I was making $60,000 a day to nothing.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough. So let's go back to what we were talking about earlier before this conversation, because I think that was an interesting topic that we were talking about. So, we're talking about side hustles and learning from, and I think this all came up from, Zach mentioning, being inside the group again because of the affiliate stuff and just getting free information. Because I think this is an interesting strategy for anybody, right? People that are inside of this group, people that are out there looking for stuff, anybody that's starting. And I know, Matt, you're like, when you and I met, you're a huge course believer. You love coaching, you love spending your money, and just buying courses, buying coaching programs, never watching anything. I'm not lying.
Yeah, I would say I was wasting a lot of stuff there, but now I go
how much
super
money, Matt, how much money that you didn't have did you spend on courses that you've never looked at?
That I didn't look at the time. There was quite a bit, but I've gone through all of my stuff at this point in time.
3
Yeah,
years
I've
later,
done.
those courses are not relevant.
Well, it depends. It depends because there are things that are relevant in each one. And like the way I look at it, like if I spend $1,000 and I take away a nugget that's going to help me make, an extra $2,500 next month, like
Can
I
we
win.
ban that term from the group?
What?
Fucking nugget. Like,
Nugget.
What do you want me to say? Morsel? If I take away a morsel?
if I learned something.
If
God,
I learned something, fine. If I learned
it's not
something,
a fucking nugget. It's not a niche. It's a fucking niche. Like, I'm so sick of these dumb marketers not knowing how to talk. Like, learn some vocabulary. God damn it.
you're taking away words. You're not adding to it. So how can you say learn some vocabulary? Like you've got to replace nugget with something better if we're going to learn vocabulary. I said
Anyways.
morsel.
Anyway, there's no reason, like we don't have to have this discussion, right? So let's go back to this idea of Matt spending all his money on courses and go-karts.
Yeah. Of course. So anyways, yeah, if I learn something that's going to help me make, twice what I put into it, like I'm happy with that, right? Like I don't have to make $100,000 because I took a $1,000 course. I don't expect that, right? I don't expect these things to suddenly change my life from one course. Like I go in looking for some kind of details typically when I go into a course. And I didn't initially. Initially, I was just like, buy them all because they teach you everything you need to know, right? But now it's like if I buy a course, I'm typically looking for a certain piece of information that somebody's got behind a paywall, right? And this is way easier than me going and trying to dig it up elsewhere in forums and groups and so on. So why not just pay the $1,000, get the information and go, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe. However, Zach's here. I don't think Zach's ever paid for anything.
I paid for 2 courses, and I paid for those 2 courses for one reason, which we also were talking about earlier. Not to learn anything. I don't even think I've opened up either 2 courses. They're private groups so that I could build relationships.
Yeah. And that's another huge piece that is often missed.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk to 98% of the people in those groups, but then topic of this Whiskey Thursday is flexing your nuts, and you flex your nuts and you get 35 people that you don't want contacting you, and then you get 2 people that you do want to contact you because either they have a proposal for you or they have something good to collaborate on. And
yeah,
that's honestly at this point what we're at is.
Well, and that's the way a lot of these groups are, is there's a ton of people ready to pounce on anybody who knows something. Like, teach me. Like, Shane, like you get messages all the time. I get messages all the time. And it's like silly things like, hey, can you show me how to generate leads for real estate? And it's like, can I just yeah, let me just stop everything I'm doing and walk you. Like, we built all this stuff out so that you have that. Like, we built the group so people would have majority of this stuff without even having to pay. And then if you want it all done for you, like, go pay for the course. Like, we'll get people just, oh, can you teach me this? Like, it's.
Well, I think it kind of goes, yeah. And I think it kind of goes back to, I've always, there's a lot of people that I help there. I get a lot of messages and sometimes I help people. It really is based on the message that I receive. Zach, you're a perfect example of this, and actually this is how you and I got to know each other. It was basically just, you built a relationship with me. It wasn't just a straight ask like, hey, show me how to get cheap leads, or hey,
yeah,
show me how to do this. It's those, people that are genuinely interested in what you're doing. A lot of times, like I'll simply like all of a sudden I'm gonna start getting a ton of messages, but now it's like anybody that's kind of messaging me, it's like, hey, Shane, I've been following you for a while. Love the value you're adding to the group and all that stuff. And it's, thank you so much for that. I just have a really, really quick question. And they ask the question, right? So they built a little bit of rapport and they ask the question. It drives, one thing that drives me nuts is when somebody says, hey, Shane, that's it.
Yeah. And the other thing is they're asking a question. They're not sitting there going, can you teach me real estate lead gen real quick? Like,
it's a very simple, like typically it's a really simple question, right? And it just kind of gets that conversation going, right? And I know that, Zach, I know you've gotten a ton of information from a ton of different people, and I know you refuse to pay for a lot of stuff. But I would assume it's very similar with you, right? Like, you're trying to build relationships with people that you're reaching out to or reaching out to you.
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to you to pitch you, if you recall.
What's that?
I pitched you
You
on
did?
the real estate bot on Rebuy.
Oh, yeah. That was way, yeah, I remember that.
Well,
Yeah.
I typically, especially these days, like we're all friends now, and that's fantastic. But like, I've got an ulterior motive majority of the time.
I think most people do anyways, you know?
Everyone does, whether they're willing to admit it or not.
Yeah, I think everybody, like nobody wants, it's not, we're not becoming best friends here online, right? I mean, we're all in this to get something out of it.
That's why we fly to Savannah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we roofie Shane so that he'll relax from time to time and have a good time.
Is that what happened?
I mean, it's cool. You don't know that it wasn't me that roofied you. It's cool that we became friends, but I mean, ultimately, we all started talking because, you know, we either wanted something from each other or thought that person could provide something for us or something. But at the same time, it's not like what your end game is. It's how you handle it from the beginning. And that's, I think, kind of what we were talking about on the phone earlier today is just be a fucking human. Like, it's really it. And I know that's harder for some people, like, to just go and talk to people or reach out to them online and like seem like you're just being conversational. But
absolutely, yeah.
That is the real trick. Shane, you've built, like, prior to all of us working together, you built your whole client base on just having conversations and being a human. Like,
absolutely, yeah. And we still do, right? I mean, it's we closed more business last week, and a couple of weeks ago. I mean, the majority of my clients are just from having conversations with people, right? And rarely pitching anything. It's coming in from referrals and other people, but or through Facebook and just reaching out to people, and that's pretty much it. But I think it's there's a bit of an art to that too, right? I don't think it's everybody that can do this. The other thing too is it's time consuming, right? So not everybody wants to spend time doing this.
Right, but I think people.
Well, and like for me in particular, I don't necessarily like having stupid conversational conversations. Like, it's not who I am. So that's not how I built that's not how I built my agency, and that's not. Now that's like really what I've ultimately decided what I don't want to do. And so I don't have conversations with people that are just fake and blanketed. I moved to affiliate marketing, and now everyone knows if I'm talking to them, I have a reason. I want a higher payout. I want this, or they want something from me. So like, running an agency, it's a service. And if you're not a service type of person and you don't have that personality, then might not be the best option for you.
That's a good point. I never thought about that either, where it's like, yeah, the agency side of things is a very, because it is a service-based business, it's, client facing, you have to build relationships with clients. I mean, that's all there is to it, right? That's a big part of it. And I think a lot of people miss that side of it,
Well, and for me, I was really good at it, really good at sales, really good at client management. I fucking hated it. And I'll still do it, but I it's so nice to be partnered with you guys because I think we all get to do the things that we enjoy doing, at least majority of the time. And so, yeah.
Sure.
The agent. Yeah. And the funny thing about the affiliate marketing world, like you said, like if somebody's talking to you, they know you want something, right? And if you're talking to them or vice versa, like people know, like, all right, we're having these conversations for mutual benefit, but it seems so much less disguised than a lot of the way that people communicate in some of the other groups where they're
all about, it's because it's all about money. That's all we care about. It's cool.
But like Shane said, not everybody, well, I think like you said, like not everybody is the kind of person who can reach out and build a rapport real fast and like start talking like that so that you want to have that conversation. And for those people, you do what I do and you just go buy courses. But again, part of the buying courses thing is you get into these groups that, especially if you can get in early on some of these, like when there's like 200 people or 50 people or something like that. like sometimes that's really, really cool because
well, I mean, like our private group is amazing. The private group that we just recently got into, that I got us into, is amazing. Like they're really, and I think if anyone's on this live right now, I don't even know if anyone's listening, but if there is anyone that bought our course and is in the private group, they can attest that the private group is immensely valuable. Like, I'm sure a lot of the people are similar to me. They're in that group trying to like feed off the information rather than
forever. I don't know who's on the call because I don't have my phone, so I can't see who's watching, but like I give away clients inside the private group for anybody it's like any like referrals that we get and stuff. We hand them off, right? To the students, like that's where they're going, like, and we get referrals all the time. And it makes sense, right? Like to the client, it makes sense because we're building that rapport with the clients. And it's like, okay, well, we've got partners that know all of our ads. They know how to run ads. They know how to work with real estate agents. They know how to do the follow-ups. They follow exactly what we do and what we teach. And here's the person, and here's another one. Here's another one, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's so being part of that private group. Plus, I think I know there's a couple of people inside the private group that bought the course not because they run Facebook ads, but because they wanted the relationships. They didn't buy because they're building an agency. They bought because they wanted the relationships with the real estate agents or with the marketers.
Yep.
Which is huge. And I know they've got it. I know that they paid for the course just by those relationships.
Yeah.
So definitely another great strategy. I leveraged, and I shouldn't say I leveraged like Dan Henry's group at all. It wasn't that. It was just, adding value and stuff like that. And then what ends up happening is people start reaching out to you. That's all that happens, right? I mean, you're in there answering questions. People are seeing that, you become an authority and an expert in whatever niche you're working in. And people start reaching out to you, right? And you're building relationships and more business and getting referrals and so on. And it has this compounding effect over time.
Yeah. Speaking of who's watching, let's see. We got Luke Schumacher, Steve's here, Zach. Well, you're watching. Matt Silver, Alex is here, David Torrance is here, Alina's here, Tim Robson's here, Olivia's here, Steve's here, Svetlin. My wife was watching earlier. So what's going on, everybody? Let us know how you're doing. Ian's here now. Yeah, let us know how you're doing. And what are your side hustles? Are you doing side hustles, or do you have side projects that are not really side hustles? They're like legit businesses now, or
Luke's a good example. Luke Shoemaker, he might be someone interesting to bring on to Whiskey Thursday because he has almost, Matt, you know him to some degree.
Yep.
I mean, he started as a real estate agent, then had some success there, then decided to give the marketing a go. And then, had some struggles there, like everyone does when first starting out, had some success, had some struggles, had some bad business partners. And then from there, he went back to real estate for a little bit because ultimately he was like, I just kind of like to just sell shit. And then ultimately, though, now he's like following his passion and following what he likes to do. And, he's getting involved with the fitness stuff, not the marketing, but he's trying to do the marketing, but do the fitness. He's helping you out. He's helped me out a lot with the fitness stuff. And I think that speaks volumes. I think early on, especially when you're like Luke's age and stuff, that you don't have to just like pick one thing and stick with it. Like, it's okay to jump around. It's okay to try out things, but ultimately I think you're always going to fall in line and continue to do what you're most passionate about doing. Because it just, even if the money is like, for me, the money is very important, but also what's more important is doing what I like to do. And so I think that's like, a lot of people should really pay attention to that.
Absolutely. And I think this is, and I think it's really common for a lot of, entrepreneurs that get into, running a new business and stuff. You really get caught up in that sort of day-to-day activity and keeping up with your clients and things like that, right? Especially on the services side of things. And I've been there a number of different times, right? But I always find that, there's always, you got to keep an eye out for other opportunities, right? I mean, there's always other opportunities out there that you meet new people, new doors open up for you and things like that. And I think it's one of the things that we've done here is that, we saw an opportunity, we grabbed it, we jumped on it, and we, I mean, we're starting to scale it now, which is cool. And we've seen like obviously we had another opportunity with the course side of things, right? And that's done very well, and we're going to continue to do that. But I think it's just important to continue to keep your maybe not. I guess maybe not be so involved inside of your business that you're kind of shutting down every other opportunity out there, unless you're really loving what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, look at the affiliate stuff. Like we'd talked about that a couple times, and it was like finally we had an into the industry, and we went for it, and we started spending very little. And next thing you know, we're spending $5,000 a day. So, or 3,000, I don't know what it is right now, but it's all over the place. But I mean, like that's a $1 million business you wouldn't even have thought of if you were just head down, not paying any attention to doing what you enjoy. And part of that is like,
this time last year, I had 80, 90 clients making a lot of money, hated my life. This year, we're making a little bit less, but that's because we all partnered together, and we're like on the verge of making a lot.
Because Matt keeps spending all your money.
Because
you should see my go-kart.
I'm buying go-karts all day long.
Oh, you guys should see our Amex bill right now. You might have a fucking heart attack.
but the points are insane.
Holy fuck, there's so many points.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not paying for a flight. You want to see me, you fly me.
Matt, I talked to Jesse today, and that's actually a fair deal. I talked to Jesse today, and I have two a credit card and a bank to show both of you guys for Lord that we really need to seriously consider.
Yeah, and actually, if you guys are using some sort of credit card for your ad spend, like that is absolutely crushing it. The one that we found that works really well, and I think a lot of affiliate marketers use, is the Amex Gold. But let us know if you've got something that's got some cool, crazy rewards or points.
We're Amex Platinum.
Is it Platinum?
Yeah, we're Amex Platinum, and then we're also Chase Sapphire.
Okay.
Wasn't Chase the other one that was like a really good rewards card?
Chase is a super good rewards card, and also they give you either 3 or 4% back on social media ad spend.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
so for anybody that's always questioning, like, why are you guys including the ad spend inside of your services? Well, this is part of the reason why. It's because we love collecting points.
Because I like to fly first class.
Love it.
But the other two, don't look them up now, but Clearbank is the bank. You have $100,000 in your bank account, and they'll front you $1 million for 8% annual interest.
Really?
That's less than house interest.
As long as you have $100,000 in the bank, they'll front you $1 million.
Yeah,
at 8%.
8%, and it's broken down monthly. So you're paying less than. So if you pay it all back in 1 month, you're paying less than 1% interest on $1 million fucking loan.
Wow, interesting.
There you go.
I have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. When our ad spend gets to that, what is it? Probably like, I don't know, $20,000 a day mark. We'll have to optimize for that.
Maybe we should just buy some. We should be buying some investment properties. Run Anthony's ad to get some.
Yeah. And then the next one is Brex. That's a credit card, not a bank, but it's Brex, BREX, which we all need to. I just learned about it today, but we all
check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have to look at that platinum versus the gold, because I could have swore the platinum didn't have the same ad spend rewards as the gold.
Trust me, it's better.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a bigger, but we'll have to.
You have to be part of platinum in order to get the invite to Black Card.
That's your goal.
It's been a goal of mine since I was a young kid to have a black card.
Is it the Black Card or is it the Centurion? What do they call it?
I don't know what they call it anymore.
Okay.
But it's invite only. And
so what's the Black Card? What's the Black Card give you?
Everything.
A headache when you try to slide it through a card reader because it's so fat. Like, seriously?
If you still live in a place where they slide their card readers, then it's time to move.
Well, even the chip reader, it won't work there because they're like so fat from what I understand. My brother had one come through when he was working at GameStop in high school. And he's like, dude, there's this card. And like this neurosurgeon came in and he had this card that like we couldn't even swipe. We had to enter all the numbers manually because it was.
How long ago was this? Was it like 15 years ago? Like, what is this like?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it? It's 15 years ago. I'm sure the Black Card now works with tap and whatever else.
Well, I think maybe that was part of the experience is like, oh gosh, this guy's got a crazy cool card. We have to.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it gets you everything, like concierge, driver.
So let's define everything. Like,
I've looked it up. The most expensive thing ever bought on a Black Card or a Centurion, whatever they're calling it now, was a $52 million jet because there's an unlimited line of credit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's absurd. I mean, we have unlimited line of credit right now too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But so like the unlimited line of credit doesn't matter. Like I'll play with it on our account randomly and be like, they have like a little calculator based on your history with them. And you can type in like, if I purchase something this expensive, will it get rejected or will it get approved? And the other day I did it and we're up to like $380,000. We could buy one single purchase for $380,000 and it'll get approved on our Amex.
Hey guys, if you guys see something from Lamborghini of Troy on there, just ignore it for now.
Matt, I know your credit history. We don't give you the card.
Matt's not allowed to spend money.
He bought 380 courses.
Yeah, if you got any course sellers watching the show, hit up Matt if you want to make some quick money.
Let me know what you got. I'm
That's
always
right.
interested in courses. Although, you know what I've been
Just
going
don't
through?
take his credit card.
Pat, actually, that bank, the bank is actually a UK bank, I believe, not an American bank versus Canada. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not part of the EU anymore. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's UK, though, is where at least they started. The clear bank that gives $1 million. Just reading the comments here.
Ian says he is he coaches freediving. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, nice. Ian, I'm a master diver. I don't have too much experience with free diving because it scares me, but I used to teach people all the time to scuba dive.
What's free diving? Like where you just that's it? Okay.
Yeah, don't they like hold a weight and like just go way down underwater?
That's crazy, yeah.
So many different styles.
That's
How far
awesome.
have you gone? Ian, how far have you gone? I made it to like 40 meters and was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Watch the pressure?
No, you have to get back up.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta figure out where's your halfway mark and go just before that.
Well, no, it's even worse than that because once you get to like 40 meters, you can't just go straight up. You'll fucking rupture shit inside your brain.
Right. You gotta go up horizontally, right?
Not horizontally, but like take your time.
Yeah.
Like oftentimes, like when I was teaching people to dive and we'd go lower than like 60 meters, once we got to the 12, I forget what it's called, but the 12 meter point, you'd have to wait that like you would basically just hang out at around 12 meters for like 3 minutes to.
Right. But that's with scuba diving. With free diving, they can come back up because it's one breath. They don't have to work. Because if you take a breath at 60 meters and you go up and you haven't let that breath out, you basically die. Your lungs will explode.
You're right.
Yeah. But because I mean, the deepest dive I ever did was 100 feet and that was not free. That was totally with a scuba tank. But we had to, what do they call it? Decompress at 15 feet or 12 meters or whatever it was. Alina says, is the affiliate traffic purchased on Facebook or Google, etc.? Currently, it's 100% Facebook, and we are testing with native.
And YouTube.
So, yeah.
All the things I learned on Whiskey Thursday.
I know.
It's like, I didn't know this.
Shane, it's called side hustles.
It's the side hustle, right?
But that's kind of the fun thing because like I like being like all over the place. So it's really fun when we have multiple assets or multiple.
Wait, really, Matt?
Assets.
You like being all over the place? You're so like composed and typically just.
Oh my god! But Zach, I got it. Like the conversation last night with you, Matt. Was like, oh my god!
I was all over the place.
It's like, I'm exhausted. No more of this. So, and Matt, we love you, right? Obviously, like, you're a great guy. You come up with a lot of awesome ideas. And every once in a while, we grab one of those ideas and we turn it into, the October 3rd masterclass, which has been epic. Scripts, which have been amazing. The CPA stuff, which has been awesome, right?
Yeah. What's the new one? We haven't named it yet, but that new one's going to be sick. That new one is going to be sick. When we tested that.
Yeah. The seller campaign?
Yeah, the seller campaign.
Yeah.
That's going to be a whole program.
That thing's crazy. But to get to those 4 items, it's like Zach and I have to sit through, like, just for people watching or wondering what goes on behind the scenes, Zach and I have to go through dozens and dozens of phone calls of Matt being like, hey guys, I just thought about this. Yeah, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and this. And then I was watching this podcast the other night. Oh yeah, it's amazing. We should try this. Actually, forget that. We're going to try this thing here. Right? It's absolutely. And then last night, Matt, that conversation we had was just like, Matt, you're hurting my brain. It's just, I can't deal with it right now.
But you know what? Like, you guys are such good sports to it, because, like, I can't even imagine working with somebody that was like, no. Like, everybody listens to me and they're like, well, draw it out and let's look at it. Like, basically, that's sort of this out, man. Matt, and then it's like, draw it out and let's look at it. And, like, the truth is, the stuff that's really golden, all of a sudden, like, you guys just be like, you'll just message me and be like, hey, what are we doing in that ad account? I'll be like, oh yeah, that's that test.
Right. I think that's that idea of us telling you, like, hey, Matt, draw it out, because, like, if you really feel like this is the next big, because I think a lot of times you've watched a webinar, if you've watched or listened to a podcast, now you're full of ideas in your brain, right? And you just, like, it's like verbal diarrhea, man. When you talk to us, it's like, we got to try all these new things, right? But when you actually, like, find something and you really want to do it, you go out and do it and figure it out. And that's what ends up happening. We get the October 3rd masterclass.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm, like, so thankful, because, again, like, if you guys had just shut ideas down, like, I mean, I'm fortunate to have a partnership like this where, like, my ideas don't get shut down. They're just like, okay, that's cool. Or Zach plays along all the time. They'll be like, oh, we could do this. And I'm like, yeah. And then we end up in some weird freaking crazy place. And next thing we know, we're spending $5,000 a day and on track with $1 million business, because we followed one of these things all the way down the rabbit hole and it worked out.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, if you really sit and break it down, Matt has really, in the last, 7-8 months, he's made us $1 million, a little more than $1 million from his, like, ideas that were just stupid fucking ideas that then, like, we implemented them, and I mean, and they're all just getting bigger and bigger. So,
and, like, I got my go-kart.
Wait, did you buy one?
What's that?
You bought one already?
Well, I have to pick it up this weekend, but yeah.
You were talking about buying. This is what we talk about, Matt. We don't react. We, like, think these things through here. You told me about this yesterday.
I think he did think it through, though. I think it's like, okay, well, I can.
I just didn't bring it to you until I had thought it through, because I was like, there's no way this go-kart thing is going to come out as an idea and get accepted. So I held on to that one a little longer.
So this is interesting, though, because I a lot of times, like, let's just quickly talk about this, because, one of the, and we actually, there was a conversation inside of the private group today, our good friend, Mr. Copycat, came up again inside the private group. He's taking some of our stuff. He's taking some of Zach's stuff. What's that?
We can say his name. He's not like Voldemort.
I don't even want to start anything, because it's just a waste of energy, right? But I think what's really interesting to, like, some of the stuff that we're doing is it's really original, right? And so, what's the thought process, Matt, behind, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to sit down here. I'm going to build out a new ad. It's going to be 100% original, not something that I've ever seen anybody else do. And the October 3rd masterclass, I can understand, like, maybe how you would have come up with that, because that's not the ad itself is new. The copy is new. It's original. The idea of doing that is not. Like, it's something that's been.
You're referencing the new one.
The new one, though, and I remember the conversation when, like, you and I were talking about it. It's like we need to come up with a solid seller lead campaign. And we were talking on the phone about this, right? And as we were talking, you're like, I got it. It's like, what about this? And so like what?
Yeah, and I think your response was, that'll never work. Because
no, that came from something that came from someone else.
No. But it was because honestly, and people, it's hard for anybody to understand right now because they haven't seen it, but it's so absurd. Zach, I don't even know if I think I've talked to you about it actually.
We talked about it months ago.
Yeah, but it is so absurd. The offer is insane.
Something else we saw. No, but it came from something. I think honestly, this conversation started with you and I think we saw it from someone else.
No. Don't take all the credit here that you had a conversation with Matt. This was months ago.
No, that's literally what I just said. It was months ago.
You said 2 months ago.
We'll have to look back at it. But the point being, like, honestly, what sparked it was like, we have to come up with something that nobody else has. And it's like, okay, well, what offer could we put out there that would be so absurd people would have no choice but to like opt in, right? Like, what offer could we put out that would be so insane that a seller would literally be an idiot to say no, right?
And I guess at the end of the day, it's just basically honing in what sellers are really looking for, which is
more
getting
money,
the most cash of their house.
Yeah. And so that's where it was like, okay, well, how do we come up with this absurd offer? And then from that, it's like, okay, so how do we make that offer make sense, right? And that's where like having some knowledge of the industry comes in, and we're able to go, okay, we can build this out this way, and we can model, XYZ's program that they did for this to do it this way, and do it. Yeah, it's tough to explain, like I said, without going into it. But again, it was just like, how do we create the most irresistible offer? And then once we have the most irresistible offer, how do we make that a reality that's not just, going to get people laughed out of the business?
God, I hate how much of a Russell Brunson fanboy you are. All the time, man.
Irresistible offers.
Hey,
all right.
It works.
It's made you a lot of money.
It works. It works. Like that's the thing, right?
It works.
Yeah.
You gotta admit,
honestly,
we build courses around this stuff, right? So.
Yeah, and what's funny is like Russell Brunson is totally somebody that I follow, and whenever he says somebody's name, like, what was it, Gary Halbert, I think? Like, I went and started looking up Gary Halbert stuff, and Gary Halbert's this direct marketer from like the 70s, I think. And like 70s, 80s, 90s, and like he had the most successful sales letter ever. Like, it's pretty insane. But anyway, so I started going back to these like really old school marketers and listening to what they were doing way back when they were sending out letters, right? And like, obviously I'm not interested in sending out letters, so I don't do anything like that. But it brought me into like these different circles of following different people that I otherwise wouldn't have known about. Like I said, Gary Halbert, Joe Polish, whatever his name is. That guy's insane. Like, the stuff that they teach and they give away for free in their videos is amazing. And like, just constantly being immersed in that, like, gives you this like creative bug to create something that just could crush it. And that's, I think, part of it for me is just being immersed in like different creative ideas.
I don't know. I'm sure Zach is thinking the exact same thing. Thank God we have a Matt that can do that. And we don't have to do that.
I know. Right. I hate that stuff. Like,
Shane's like, why are you always driving? Why aren't you working? I'm like, because I'm listening to this stuff. And he's like, yeah, but why aren't you working? Like,
I never say why aren't you working.
Why aren't you working? Why are you driving? And
where are you going? Where is always what I'm asking. Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
We were just talking yesterday.
I drive in like a 10-mile circle, and I just listen to this stuff over and over and over. And then I go back to my office and I create content, right? Like, I just drive and listen, or I'll drive and I'll talk to Zach and I'll be like fleshing out ideas, right? And then I'll go back to my office. And
Shane, if you knew how much Matt and I talked on the Shane, on the Shane, it's time for me to go. Oh God. If you knew how much Matt and I talked on the phone every day, you would fucking not be happy probably.
But again, it goes back to like this creative process that works for me. Like I think everybody has to find their own process.
Well, it works
And,
for me, and now I'm a Facebook ads expert, and I've never wanted to do that.
Well, yeah, and I mean, look at like the way that you like. Not, I'm not saying I'm a Facebook ad. Like I'm I'm decent with Facebook ads because like that's one thing. I thought I was from Facebook ads expert until you start. Oh, dude, you just had some lightning behind you. That is sick. That was awesome. Anyways, like I thought I was a Facebook ads expert, right? An ads expert until I got into this stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh, like no, I can generate leads for a local business or a real estate agent. Like that's nothing. Like that is nothing in the scheme of Facebook ads and what it really takes. And now I would say like I'm decent at Facebook ads, right? Because I know what's out there and what's possible. I wouldn't say like I'm an expert by any means. Like, yeah.
I'd say I'm damn fucking good.
Oh yeah. But like, look how many times we jumped on the phone and like, for me, when we're talking, I'm like, okay, Zach, check this out, check this out, check this out. And like, by you doing it, like you're getting immersed. Like you want to sit here and talk about how like, I don't want to listen to all this stuff, but like you're getting immersed secondhand into this Facebook ad stuff.
He's
like,
maxing out his Amex. He must be having fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We're almost
you're buying go-karts.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing.
Fun.
It's funny because like I don't spend money on stuff a lot of times. There's stuff for like courses and different trainings and like now a go-kart. But like for me, I have so much fun like, you know, tossing money at the different stuff that we're doing.
Well, I'm maxing out the Amex, but also like we spent like 40 grand this week and we have like 75 coming in. So
yeah,
it's fine.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's just scary right now while we wait for it to come in.
Right.
What if they don't pay?
Okay, so guys, let's add a little bit of value here to the group. I mean, I get it. That's a real estate group, right? We got real estate marketers. We got.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
Where are you going? Whoa! This question is for you. You can't just leave.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
We got real estate agents, real estate marketers. What?
I said it because I'm totally drinking. Like I actually have to go use the restroom. So, all right, go ahead. What's the question?
Wait. You're gonna have to wait for a little while. But we're talking about, this is a real estate group. We got marketers here, agency owners, real estate agents. Obviously, the show is always about trying to add a little bit more value as opposed to us talking about how much money we're spending, how much money we're making, right?
Right.
Which is kind of, but that's cool. That's whatever. Like, obviously we're doing things, we've got some things going on the side and things like that.
Wait, there's more to this?
More to what?
Oh, Matt said it was about me flexing my nuts. So.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, so let's add a little bit of value to the group, right? Somebody wants to because affiliate marketing is not new. A lot of people have looked into it. People think about it all the time, things like that, right? Matt, Zach, but specifically Matt, for people that may want to look in, because you kind of stumbled on it, right? Because you had a friend that was doing this, you saw what he was doing, you're like, holy crap, what are you doing? We had a chance to meet with him and stuff like that. But for anybody that wants to get into this, what would you propose, suggest?
Into affiliate stuff?
On the affiliate side of things, because this is what we're talking about. Zach just flexed his balls.
How would you get
40, I mean 70.
Several people have reached out to me and asked.
Actually, you know what?
For people that may want to.
Sorry.
Okay. I thought you kept saying my name. I was like, what? What, Shane? What? No. Let me think on that. I will be right back. Zach, you go, because I've got to bring back some more drink. Give me a sec.
Well, several things. Matt doesn't come prepared ever to anything.
I know. Have a porta potty next door to you. What are you, 50?
I told Jen that I'm going to pee on the floor if I have to.
Only on Whiskey Thursday.
Blame it on the dog. But the first thing for affiliate marketing, which I've told a lot of people about, is it's a pay to play game. And what's so appealing about the local lead gen stuff is there's essentially no overhead, upfront cost and very little overhead. That is not the case here, especially when you're first getting started.
Right.
Most of these networks don't pay you for 30 days net 15. which I don't get why they can't just say we're not going to pay you for fucking 45 days because that's
Right.
right. Like,
So
but-
so let's just so that's an important point, right? The agency side of things, you get paid up front. You got money, you got paid, and you can start working, right? So you're getting paid for the work that you're going to do. On the affiliate side of things, you're taking your own money, risking it, and you're hoping that you're going to get paid, right? So it's not just the fact that hopefully you can convert your ads in order to make money, but also that the networks are going to pay you.
yeah, I mean,
Because we've run into situations where the networks aren't paying.
well, you're aware of the one.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep you out of it now so that only one of us has an ulcer because we're the only two fucking people in this business that really understand anything. But so I try to keep you out of it so you don't have a fucking heart attack. But I mean, we have a network right now that owes us fucking $23,000 and they haven't paid us in 3 weeks. And we're on a weekly payout. Like, it's why you haven't been paid in the last 3 weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's nerve wracking. It's if I had a, you got to have the right mentality to get into affiliate marketing. Like something's got to be wrong in your head to really be down with affiliate marketing because it's it's crazy volatile. It's super risky. And like, but that's like, you both know me. Like,
That's right up your alley.
yeah, if you had to find like the online business that made sense for someone with my personality based on my history, it'd be this. Take all the fucking risks in the world. You're likely gonna fuck up. You're likely gonna really, have a lot of bad things happen. But if you don't, you're gonna make way more money than anyone else.
Right. And so that and that's interesting too, right? So you've got the issues of the networks, the fact that you're using your own money, all of that stuff, right? But you also there's the upswing of it too, which is like, whew, I spent $2,000 and made $5 today, right? Like there's that too, right? So there's that high that you get from that keeps pushing you forward to do a good job. But it wasn't always like this, right? Like we started, Matt, you were testing out ads for a couple $100. I remember that, like, it's like, hey, Shane, like I made $25 today. I was like, what the fuck? That's like,
yeah,
awesome, man. Congratulations for making $25 today. How about we focus on something else that makes real money, right?
Yeah.
But like until we started figuring out, it's like, okay, well, this is actually making it interesting. Like this is cool, right? And the cool thing about it too is that for a long time we were actually able to keep it real estate related, which was kind of interesting, right? I mean,
still the majority of what we do is real estate related.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool too, right?
For Matt to see what was really possible with affiliate marketing, he needed someone like me, where the one day, the turning point of this business was, let's fucking spend $2,000 today and see what happens. Like, that was the conversation he and I had. And we put
that's interesting too, because you kind of get to that point where it's like, okay, you know what, we're making, you're making this amount of money on your agency, you're making this amount of money on whatever else you're doing. You made a little bit of money on the affiliate side of things and you've banked some of that. So now let's start risking a little bit more.
Well, yeah. And that's what I was going to say when you talked about like, how would somebody get started? Number one, like if agency is your thing right now, go get your agency up to where you're making a substantial income. And substantial is different to everybody, right? Like for some people, it might be $4K a month. For some people, it might be $40K, whatever it is. Like do it until you're making a substantial income and you feel like you have disposable income, because you don't know what's going to happen with affiliate marketing. But I can tell you this is you're going to lose money in the beginning while you're getting it figured out. And the people who seem to do well from what I've seen are people that can ride that out, right? Like people who can ride it out and like stand to lose some money in the beginning while they're getting it figured out, because you're not just going to start with a winner typically, right? I mean, I had everything handed to me pretty much, and I still didn't start with winners. Like I had to spend, quite a bit to get going. Obviously, substantially less than somebody who's just getting started. But the other thing for somebody who is getting started, I would start investing in spy tools. Spy tools are amazing, right? They've made us tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars already. And
Well, there's free ones and free trials. AdSpy, we started with AdSpy.
AdSpy has a free trial somewhere. I tried to find the link the other day. I cannot find their free trial link anymore.
No. You sign up, you create an account, they get you to try to pay, and then you don't pay, and then they email you like a couple minutes later. Like,
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So explain to me. Okay, so one thing you wanted, if I had no idea how to do affiliates, you're like I need to go find spy tools, right?
Yeah.
No, one you have to find networks.
Okay, so the first thing would be networks in order to make money from, and I understand that part of it. So fine. Okay, so I'm not completely, I kind of know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? But what are the spy tools for? Like to go out and find other offers?
Well, yeah. Let me see if I can get on one real fast.
Yeah, Shane, AdSpy, like literally you can go and type in like foreclosures, and it'll show you everyone that's running foreclosure ads on Facebook. Like I don't know how they created the software. It's a pretty badass. It's not a perfect software, but it's a pretty damn badass software.
Cool.
That will show you all the foreclosure ads that have ever been run.
Right.
And so like if you find something, like the rent to own niche is big for us with the affiliate marketing.
Here, I've got it pulled up. Should I share screen?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Do it. All right.
Just don't show our ads.
Right. Okay. So I'll show you how I typically use it.
Okay, just explain to me though so this is going to be a lesson. Teach Shane how to.
Actually, we should get some freaking comments going. Like, I don't know, golden morsels. No.
Why would I do this? Like, what's okay? So I've got.
Okay, so I get questions constantly about like, hey, how do I run this ad here? How do I run this ad here? Like one of them was, how do I run real estate ads in Germany? Right. So I can go in here. I can select Germany, and I could type in house sale. And I don't know if this is going to work or not, but this is what I would start with, and I'll kind of walk you through. Like these are. What's that?
There's an open house sale.
Like here's an ad that somebody's running.
Oh, you speak German, right?
Me?
Zach speaks German, right?
No, Jen does, not me.
Okay.
Oh, right.
So I can do that, and then I can
five languages, right?
People that have at least 300 likes, right? So they've been running the ad for a little while, and I can see what's out there. And
that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot with 300 likes in Germany. It's saying house sale, so maybe
just say house.
Yeah.
Well, don't go with long tail, and
don't
say. I mean, you need to look up the German word for house too. Is where you're fucking up here. Go to like an English speaker.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, go to Spanish, go to Spain, and type casa.
But you can see like here's ads that are running for houses in Germany, right?
Well, and that's one way. So like, let's not let Matt go down this fucking rabbit hole for too long.
Okay.
That's one tool. Another tool is Adspresso, which does some pretty interesting stuff, which we ultimately decided not to pay for, but that's a 14-day free trial. And that shows you exactly what your ads are doing. So like if you're just starting out with the affiliate marketing, you can find out like literally the minute where your ad is most profitable. And what that's done for us is we day part some ads now. And that is. Can you tell everybody what day parting is for anybody who doesn't know? Yeah. So with what I'm sure the vast majority of you guys are doing is setting a daily budget, which is the way you should be doing local lead gen, unless you have a client that's like, I don't want to get leads on the weekend, which you have to day part. But so basically what you do in the ad set level is you set it to a lifetime budget, because unfortunately they don't allow you to do daily budgets when you are day parting. So you set it to a lifetime budget. Then what you're allowed to do is select when your ad is actually running. And so you could say, what we're actually doing right now, it's super bizarre, but one of our ads that we're running in the affiliate marketing, it's running from 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. Then it's shut off from 6 a.m. until 8 a.m. And then it runs from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. and then shut off the rest of the day. and the reason we made this, came to this conclusion was because of Adspresso. So we went through Adspresso and it showed us like there was a clear pattern. Shane, for you in particular, there was a clear pattern. It was like, what the fuck's happening here? I wake up in the morning and our ads are losing money like crazy. Then I go to the gym and I get back by about 8:30, and now our ads starting to make money again. And then it's going up and up and up. And then by the time I go to bed again at night, and I wake up in the morning, and as you guys are aware, I go to bed pretty early. So I go to bed and I wake up early in the morning and it went back down. And so we got Adspresso to identify there's no real reason for why this was happening. I thought the link is breaking, something's fucking happening. Maybe they're geo filtering. So like people on the West Coast, they don't want as many people on the West Coast, but the network said, no, that's not what we're doing. We're not geo filtering anyone, where everyone's allowed in the United States to get this ad. So we're like, okay, fine. So the only way we could combat that issue was fine. We're only going to fucking run this ad when we are making the most return on our ad spend. Yeah. And so that was kind of a long
That's kind of cool. Yeah. Man, neat.
Yeah, but that's,
Adspresso is the tool that identified where you were making the most money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Adspresso has it has the ROI setup. I mean, there are ways you can do it just with Facebook Ads Manager.
Wouldn't this be I think I'm thinking of some of our bigger real estate clients, right? Where it's like, we know that, like, we see the patterns, right? I was watching them actually on one of our big clients, where, because I was getting all the leads in on a Google sheet, and I ended up using that for some promotion stuff. But I could see like all the leads came in from 6 a.m. to like 9:30 a.m., maybe 10:30 a.m. And then they just like slowed right down, right down. But it was spending money. It's spending money, right?
In theory, day parting, it's almost a no-brainer, but that's only in theory. What can happen and what does happen with day parting, which happened to Austin, for example. Austin was day parting on a specific CPA offer because you're only allowed to run it from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Monday through Friday.
Eastern time.
Yep.
And so you have no choice but to day part that ad. He had the ad running 9 to 5, wakes up one day, ad's fine, goes and checks it again at 10:30. It spent $3,000 from 9 a.m. until 10:30. And that was like, it was like 85-90% of his lifetime budget. So there are these and he had like 2 or 3 conversions. So basically he spent like $3,200 and made like $200.
Right.
And so there's these risks with the day parting and the lifetime budget, that Facebook one day might just wake up in the morning and the algorithm might be like, I feel like fucking Austin today. This will be fun.
Let's just spend all his money.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's a crazy game. Donald says parsing. It runs a series of curl requests, matches keyword. Same thing as web scraping. You hire somebody from Fiverr. Interesting. So I think he's referring to what AdSpy does. David says AdSpy is awesome. Alina says golden morsels. Thank you, Alina. And Pat says, what are the best paying affiliate networks? Pat, typically the ones that pay you on time and weekly. Those are my favorite. No, but there are.
Every network is completely different based on the offers you're trying to run. And it's the only part of affiliate marketing where you need to have a relationship. I've been able to establish really strong relationships with all of our account managers there, and different people are able to provide us different things. I'll tell them all the same thing, like, hey, I want $25 payout on this, and the one that is willing to get me and I'm like, I'll get us to $10,000 a day in 3 weeks if you get me $25 payout on it. So it's like, they're all capable of different things because they all have different relationships with the advertisers.
But let's talk about the risk there, because we had an issue occur where we were
That's-
shopping an offer.
Lesson learned. Okay.
Right? We were shopping an offer. And the thing is, these affiliate networks, they don't always know what the other networks are making, right? So if we have somebody on a network who's got an offer, they're getting $10 for it, and everybody else is getting $7. And all these affiliate managers are reaching out to you going, hey, we want you to run this ad, or hey, how can we get more traffic from you? And you're like, well, get me the energy drink offer for $10 and I'll do it. Well, when you do that with 4 or 5 different companies, and all of a sudden they go back to this other company and they're like, hey, we want $10 payouts. We want $10 payouts. We want $10 payouts. The company's like, crap, somebody let the cat out of the bag. Like, no, this person, whoever this ID is that just requested this, they're done. We're not letting them run our offer. And we had that, right? We had somebody.
I really fucked us there. Shane,
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
Shane, I shopped an offer with like 6 different networks, and then ultimately the advertiser was like, tell this person they can never.
Well, yeah, because they all come from the same place. Like, how many places can you get the same energy drink, right? It's like one manufacturer.
They got real mad at us. And
Yeah,
I
Oh,
was like,
really? Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But then ultimately, so we're running it with one network now, and now I'm just running it with their competitor, though. Like, it was a cool thing in there.
That's so funny.
So be careful about shopping offers if you do it. Pat, as far as the networks, AFFpaying.com gives you a lot of insights on networks, and they're rated. And the ones that are on there typically care about their rating. So they'll pay you on time, which is nice. But then as far as like getting the best payout, like that really comes down to having relationships and knowing what other people are getting as far as payouts.
Yeah, because that's been that's actually been a big part of the work, has been building these relationships, getting the payouts, even managing that has been a bit of a nightmare for some of the networks, right? But I even when we first started, like some of the networks were 45-day payouts. We know you're building a relation. It's kind of like building a relationship with a vendor, right? I mean, it's the same thing, right? It's like, okay, well, fine, 45-day payout. How long do we have to do this for? Can we reduce that down to 30 days or 2 weeks or a week so we can get paid faster, sending more traffic,
Well, and what's fun is like, it's really not a relationship because it's all about money. Like the account manager gets a percentage of what you're doing. And
right.
I can only do like $3,000 a day if.
But at the end, it is a relationship, because at the end of the day, if you're a dick, they're not going to give you anything.
No, I'm
right.
a dick. I know.
Are you a dick? Okay, well, yeah, of course you are. I don't know why I would think you were a nice guy to any of the networks that are paying us tens of thousands of dollars. Why would I think that?
Account manager has a vested interest. That's the difference. They make a percentage of what we make. So if I tell them, look, if I have a 30-day payout, or if you're only going to pay me this much money for every conversion.
Okay, I guess so. I guess maybe now at this point here where you have 5 different or 6 different networks that you can leverage might be a little bit different, right?
And they give you the ability to either put up or shut up. You can only bluff so many times until they're like, okay, fuck him, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
there's a couple of networks where they're like, holy fuck, yeah, he's doing $5,000 a day.
Well, and that's where the flexing comes in, because you were in a group recently and you posted some results from yesterday or something like that, and you did it on purpose, right? The point was to flex, but the point of flexing, it's not all the messages that come in going, teach me your ways, master. It's not all those people. It's about the people that are going, okay, hey, we're doing this over here. We'd be interested in collaborating because we'd like to know what you're doing over there, right? So
yeah, well, it's exactly. So for anybody else, for anybody that's actually still watching, I don't know how many people are watching, but
they should be watching. This is gold if you ever want to do something with CPA. So,
I mean, a perfect example of people flexing their nuts, right? Even inside of our group, Matt, I don't know if you saw this or not, but I know Luke Shinkula had like a little bit of fun with, somebody flexing $3.2 million in ad spend per month on Facebook.
Yeah.
Doing real estate ads. Like, I don't know if you saw that post or not, right? But like the reality is like, oh shit, like who is this guy? Right? So like I spent a little bit of time, looking up I'd never heard of this guy, right? Looking up this guy, looking at his profile, trying to find his business page, all this stuff. And at the end of it, I was just like, whatever.
He's full of it.
Whether he was full of it or not, I didn't find out. I don't really care because I've got other things, but a lot of other people do care about that stuff, right? I don't know where I was going with this. Not just,
But yeah, I mean, like it's a great way to get into conversations. Like if you have
Exactly.
really great results.
If I had nothing else going on, I would have messaged him. We would have talked, got on the phone probably, and just, my network would have opened up to him. His network would have opened up to me. I just,
Well, and like part of what I did, I didn't just go into that group and post my results to like show off. I watched it for a month. Literally, it was like a thing where
and you were in there daily, and you interacted.
Right, and people were getting inspired. I watched people every day post results of, hey, I made $100 today. I made $400 today. I made $1,000 today. And people were like responding and like, oh my God, you're such an inspiration. Like, thank you so much. This like wants me to keep moving forward. And so I knew by doing that in that group where I showed that we made, like $6,000 yesterday, that like, it wasn't going to be something where it was like, oh, you narcissistic asshole. Like how, like,
right.
I knew that there was something that not only would it like potentially provide value to the people that weren't doing that well, but also it would get the big names in that group.
Pay attention.
Have their ears perk up and maybe reach out.
And that's
happened.
That's exactly like the way you said it. Exactly right. Because
sorry, I'll be right back, guys. 2 seconds. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wash your hands. So it's exactly what you said. You watched it, right? You grabbed the tone of the group. You were paying attention. Like when you went in there and did that, you were in harmony with the group. You were not going out as some narcissistic jerk. Like you watched, you saw what was going on, you saw who was doing what, and you made a post that was, again, in harmony, in the same tone as what people were doing in that group, like when they have success. And it does inspire other people in that situation. Honestly, especially in affiliate marketing, like sometimes like just seeing somebody else is doing well is really nice, because you're like, okay, there is potential in this niche, right? Like maybe we're working in, a weight loss niche, and we're like, hey, we're trying to run this offer for flat belly fix or whatever, right? And like we're having no luck, but then you see somebody who posts the results and you're like, oh gosh, okay, they did it. So there's something I'm missing, right? But like you got the tone before you went and did that. And a lot of people will just go in and flex right off the bat, and like it falls on deaf ears. But like when you flex, like you had interacted, you had matched the tone, and everything was in harmony, and it worked out really well.
It was super calculated.
Yeah.
And like you guys both know, like the first time that you guys had me on Whiskey Thursday, Shane was like, here's like the intro that I want to put for you. And I was like, no, I don't like that. I don't like, mentioning like income and stuff like that. And so like,
that's right.
It's not something I like to do, but in that.
When I saw that post this morning, was it this morning?
Yeah,
I think it was this morning. When I saw that post this morning, I was like, what is he doing? Like that's out of character, but it was in character for the group.
Right. And then, and it was calculated. There was a reason for it, and there was a goal, and it worked exactly the way I fucking planned for it to work. And
now we have opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise had. And I think that's something that people can take away and use in multiple
opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise had. I guess, Matt, you knew, but Shane, did you know that you can share lookalike audiences with
Yeah, with different ad accounts?
It makes me think, so I didn't know this, because that guy that,
should we sell our lookalike audience?
Yeah.
Who wants to buy our lookalike? You can't. That's it's against Facebook policies for you to sell your lookalike audiences.
That's true.
Yeah,
but if we
you're not supposed to. However, if anybody's interested, I'd be interested to know how much you would pay for one of our Facebook lookalike maybe one of our audiences.
You can buy a coaching call, and we just share those for free on those.
That's right. Exactly. Our coaching calls come with lookalike audiences.
They just cost $8,000, but like you can do it. I'm just kidding. But that's huge, because
guys, I'm 24 minutes over, so I'm gonna go.
That's cool. Let's wrap it up anyways, because I got to run as well. But Zach, always a pleasure having you on. It's fun. Actually, this was a fun discussion. It's just not. We didn't tell any marketers to fuck off. We didn't. So it was a good discussion. I learned a little bit more about the affiliate stuff that you guys are all working on and stuff. It was awesome. Hopefully, we were able to add a little bit of value and some inspiration for anybody that's in the marketing world and actually even thinking about, doing some of the affiliate work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys are interested in the 7-day challenge for marketers, we are going to be announcing a post very shortly.
Monday,
yeah,
right?
Monday it's going to launch, right?
Monday.
But we're going to announce a post either tonight or tomorrow. You're going to have basically 24 hours to get in for free. Anybody who gets in that 24-hour window will get in for free. We told you, first group in for free. It's going to be open for 24 hours for free. And then after that, it's going to be, I think, $27 to get into it. So
absolutely. And that's because there's way more value in the new one. Matt's been working on it for 5 months. If anybody I know, anybody that go try to find the original 7-day challenge post, right? So that's the original. Look at the date on that. And ever since we posted that, we've been talking about putting together an updated version to the 7-day challenge, which is way, way better. Client acquisition funnel. It's got stuff on mindset that you built out. It's got all the scripts now. Basically, we've answered all of the questions.
Yeah.
And
we took the silly stuff. For instance, when people are like, well, what do I use to go live? All right, here's your options. Look on YouTube. They have it all there. I'm not going to sit here and teach you how to use technology that is readily available on YouTube, but I am going to teach you the steps to take.
You're going to teach people how to use search.
Yeah, right. Let's go on Google and I'll teach you how to use Keyword Planner. Now, just go on Google and search how to use Keyword Planner. Right?
The point is, sorry, Matt, to interrupt.
Yeah,
but the point is, if you can find the original post, look at it. Matt's been working on this ever since we launched the original 7-day challenge. It's taken 5 months.
We're giving away an automated client acquisition funnel with the VSL script.
Did you see the apocalyptic script that Matt and I wrote? And
no.
Dude, I'm still working on that. That's something for it's not going to be ready right away, but I'm still working on that with a couple of people who do animation.
We wrote 2 really cool scripts for. We're not sure if they're going to be VSLs or just ad videos.
Mm-hmm. And this is for the 7-day challenge, right?
Probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah, these are.
Can we see a sneak peek of it or no?
Matt should probably read it as a creepy.
Let me see if I can pull up a. No, we were not showing the ad. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it in the members.
You should.
But the 7-day challenge has everything at this. It will have everything at this point, right? You've got 4 days here left to wrap it up, so we can launch on Monday. You guys have built that VSLs. You built that scripts. You've built out. Is there video as well that's included in all this? You've got slide decks.
The video is not coming with it.
Okay, well at least you've got a slide deck or a script that goes with it. So somebody
doing the video, fine.
I'm still working on the video.
I'll go get the video done. You told me you were gonna get it done.
I was working on it. I'm still working on it, but let's see. Let me see if I can find
those people at Upwork will literally do anything for money.
Oh, I know. No, I found the people to do it. It's just getting them to be able to match what we're trying to do, right?
I've already got a guy.
Do you? Okay. So let's see. Hang on.
Zach's already got it done in the past 30 seconds.
Okay, let's see if I can find it here. Hang on. This is in the way.
Oh, you've already uploaded all the videos.
No, videos are in the system. We're just putting it all together. But here you have it right here.
Shane, I put a share funnel in your ClickFunnels account because I don't believe in ClickFunnels and I had no way to use the share funnel.
Okay.
Just to FYI.
Yeah. So this will be the 7-day challenge as it comes out. So it should be pretty stinking sweet. I'm hoping that people get massive results from it.
If the
Yeah.
7-day
But
challenge,
this looks identical to the original one. So tell me what's new here. Like, because it really does look, I mean, 7 days, like how, like, you know, what could you have added that any different from the original one?
Let's see. So what have we added? Like we have, I mean, a lot of it is just the execution has been changed, right?
Okay.
So when we first did it, we're coming from the real estate 7-day challenge, which completely crushed it, and we were going to the marketers version of the 7-day challenge, which did okay, right? It did well. People who stuck it out did well, but now we've kind of upped the execution of it, how you do it, kind of the walkthroughs, you know, client acquisition strategies. Again, we're giving you an automated client acquisition funnel, so that's a no-brainer. With exactly what we use when we run our automated acquisition funnel in Wufoo. So like we run the acquisition funnel, like it'll have the VSL, and then it'll have like the Wufoo form right there. And we're giving you our Wufoo form that we use to qualify clients.
So basically, it's essentially the same process. Like the idea from the original one's the same one in this one. You just included a lot more of the missing pieces from the original.
Exactly.
And have, you know, just made everything better from the original.
Yeah.
So for anybody that's new to the group that's watching this, right, the 7-day challenge was really your way of acquiring a client. For real estate, any type of client, actually, doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't need to be real estate. However, the scripts and all that kind of stuff, the slide decks, the live videos and things like that, they're all meant for real estate. But you can use the structure of this and the ideas behind them. You can use this for any niche. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be just real estate. But this is really geared towards real estate, acquire more real estate agents, and so on. But the idea is to get your first one or multiple real estate clients in 7 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
And let me see here if I have the link. You know what? Let's do it right now. Let's give it.
And what's really actually another cool thing that's happened with the 7-day challenge is originally it was you that built it out, the original one. Well, the original one, which was the real estate one, which you got amazing results from. Then we did one for the realtor one, or the marketers. And then you and I worked on that a little bit. But this time around, Zach's actually jumped into this, started building out scripts and, you know, other things like working on the copy and stuff like that as well, right?
Yep.
Which is really cool. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun.
It's about freaking time.
If the 7-day challenge took 5 months to put together, does that mean we have like another at least like 14 months until the webinar goes live, or what?
Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. Well, you know, I think part of it, I mean, in Matt's defense, you know, he was working on some other things, right? And it's
are you enjoying the CPA thing, Zach?
What is CPA? I don't recall you being involved in that.
Yeah, there you go.
So we pulled Matt away from that, told him, listen, you got to focus on the 7-day challenge, like core stuff, 7-day challenge, more content, right? And that's
Matt, an idiot like Zach can handle the fucking CPA, man. You don't.
That's right.
So now we got that coming out. We got the webinar coming out. We got like a bunch of stuff that we're working on that I think is just going to elevate everything we're doing.
It's very cool. Awesome.
So
okay, guys.
I will post a link in here as well as a post very shortly, and that will have the sign up, and you will have basically until tomorrow at midnight to get signed up for the 7-day challenge.
What?
For free.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm going to post it right now.
No, like Thursday, like you're basically posting it's 9:30 p.m. Thursday night. You've got 24 hours here to get into the 7-day challenge. If you don't, then
$27. Oh my gosh. $27.
Let's give some people some time.
All right, how much time?
Like till Monday night, like after you post it.
All right, Sunday night, because it starts Monday morning.
Oh, right. Are you okay? You sure you're gonna start this Monday?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're not going. You don't have plans this weekend to go go-karting?
Well, we'll see. but still.
You're gonna go hunting and drink 30-cent cups of coffee and claim it's good coffee and stuff?
I never claimed it was good coffee. I just claimed there was no cream in it. Anyways, cool. So again, if you guys made it this far, hashtag Trooper. If you're watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay Trooper or something like that. But thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Zach, for jumping on.
They should probably smash the fuck button too.
Yeah, there you go. Smash that button. And I don't think I have to thank Zach for being on anymore. You're such a part of this that it should be expected once in a while that you show up. So
yeah. Oh dear. Did I just
there
freeze or did Matt freeze?
Nope, you're all good. You're all good. You're good.
So can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you're all good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you everybody who's here, and we'll talk to you more in the group, and see you next week for the 7-day challenge.